Hello, Gages Lake. Hope you're having a great Wednesday. Today is June the 16th, and I hope that this week is going by pretty well for you, whatever you might be doing this week. And I just wanted to give you just a few thoughts today, a few update announcements as we look ahead into the summer. We are looking at, in August, trying to have our annual church picnic again. I'm looking at the details of that. Want to make sure that that's done in the right way, safe way and stuff. So, but it looks to be like it'll be the second Sunday in August. I believe it's August the 8th. So you can kind of tentatively put that on your calendar as we look ahead. As these next few weeks go by, there's going to be people gone for vacation or different things. And so just as a reminder, the month of July, we're going to have all of the kids in the service with us. There will be no children's church for the month of July. There will be these next 2 weeks, but then July, there will be no children's church. Because I think it's important, and if it was COVID related or not COVID related, I think it's a great idea to every so often have our kids in here with us, and I think it's a great learning tool. I know my kids would benefit from that. A great learning tool to be able to worship together as a family, and so the month of July, and I know the temptation will be just don't come because there's going to be a lot of kids or your own kids or whatever. Please make it a point to still come to worship with us together, so that the children can see what it means to be a body of Christ and can worship together with Christ. So that's the month of July. We're also this Sunday finishing up the letter of 1 Peter, and then through July we're going to break from the Peter study and go into looking at some of the parables of Jesus. I think that'll be a great little series. It's not really a series. It's a great few weeks there, so that the kids can get a little something as well. Not that they can't get something from 1 Peter or 2 Peter, but at the same time, it gives them a chance to get us to just have some family conversations, perhaps after the Sunday morning message, as we continue to meditate on the teachings of Jesus through the week. And then once we come back after July and August, we're going to go right into 2 Peter. The plan for this series was to do them together. I think there's some tie-ins with both of them, but so we're going to go right into 2 Peter after July, when we come back in the fall in August. 2 Peter is shorter, so it'll be not as long. So that's kind of as I've been thinking and praying about it. And then, Lord willing, if we make it to that point, I'm looking at going back into the Old Testament. I think it'll be a great, we're going to do a different book study, and I want to show you how Christ is seen in this book. So more information will be coming as we move ahead into the fall. Speaking of fall ministries, Awana, Sunday school, ushers, nursery, children's church, greeters. We have all kinds of service opportunities to reach out to one another. And you may say, worship team, just all kinds. And you may be saying, well, I don't really know where I can fit in. There's always places to fit in. There are always opportunities to serve, and the ability to serve doesn't necessarily mean that it's convenient. It like when we serve, the true service is stepping out in faith and saying, I'm going to do this. I'm going to serve the church in this way. And by the way, it doesn't have to be these big things. I came across a friend of mine posted it on Facebook, and I really loved it. I didn't share it because I'm trying not to share too much on Facebook, But I thought the message of the post was really spot on. And basically he posed it as like this conversation of a guy and his pastor was, hey, how's it going? And he's like, hey, I want you to know that I want to get involved. I want to serve. I want to help in some way. Is there some sort of ministry or team that I can be a part of? And the pastor's like, hey, I'm so thankful that you want to serve. He goes, and the best way you can do this is to look around you. Like, look around. Take this Sunday morning. Who do you see? Who do you not see that you normally see? Who do you know well? Who do you not know well? Like go out and talk to people. He then goes on and is like, hey, hang out after church. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Just hang out after church with someone you don't know, or invite someone over to your home. Look for someone who's by himself. Look for someone who's missing. Contact them, call them, meet up with coffee, or get out your church directory and look through those who weren't here, or sometimes like the idea behind getting involved as a body of believers is more than just doing these big things. And that's what God calls us to do. And so in that regard, 1 Corinthians chapter 12, and I'm sure you're familiar with the passage. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, Paul writes to the Corinthians and says, for just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ. For in one spirit we were all baptized into one body, Jews or Greeks, slaves or free, and all were made to drink of one spirit. For the body does not consist of one member, but of many. And then he goes into talking about if the foot fusses about not being a hand, or if the ear says it's not an eye. It's kind of the humorous illustration there. But the point is, they're like, well, I'm not really involved unless I'm this or unless I'm that. And then Paul says, the eye cannot say to the hand, I have no need of you. Nor again the head to the feet, I have no need of you. On the contrary, parts of the body that seem to be weaker are indispensable. And on those parts of the body that we think less honorable, we bestow the greater honor. And our unpresentable parts are treated with greater modesty, which our more presentable parts do not require. Like he actually goes a little bit further than perhaps most people talk about the body, and that is that there are some parts of the body that you treat with greater respect because they're weaker, or because you keep them hidden, or things of that. And the idea of the church, like we all are members of this body together. And he says, now you are body of Christ and individually members of it. And God has appointed the church first apostles and prophets and teachers, then miracles and healings and helping and ministrating and various kinds of tongues. Are all apostles? Are all prophets? Are all teachers? Do all work miracles? Do all possess gifts of healing? Do all speak with tongues? Do all interpret? And then he says, and I will show you still a more excellent way than all of that. Like the more excellent way than all these spiritual gifts. And that's the end of the chapter. Oh, well, okay. So thanks, Paul. You just left us hanging. You didn't really mention it. Actually, he does, because the very next chapter, he tells exactly how we serve one another, exactly how we are involved with one another. Because he was like, all those things, like speaking in tongues, prophecy, apostles, teachers, miracle workers, all of those things are great. But I tell you something even greater. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but I don't have love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. If I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith, so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and I deliver up my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Do you see how he ties in the chapter 13, the famous love chapter that we're all familiar with that previous section about the body, and how that we have different places of ministry. We have different opportunities in ministry, and we do it through love. We do it through love with one another. Listen, I'm hoping that when we enter into the fall, that we will return with all of the ministries, with ushers and nursery workers and children's church workers and worship team and greeting team and just Sunday school, like different parts of our church that we have obviously taken a step back from because of COVID. But as we look into the fall now, boy, we should be looking for opportunities to now re-engage, reconnect with our people, reconnect with one another, and serve our church together. Because ultimately, the things are either going to happen or they're not. And by God's grace, I hope that they can return and that we would have the people that are ready to serve. And by the way, serving doesn't mean you just get up and talk. It means that you are involved and you are planning and you are part of this ministry. And so as we look at the body, let's reach out to one another. Let's connect with one another. But then let's also serve one another inside our church as we fulfill God's kingdom right here, as we move the kingdom forward and we share the love of Christ with others. Anyway, those are some thoughts that have been going around in my head. I hope that each of you has a great week. End of your week's supposed to get a little warmer the next couple of days. Did he really mention the weather? Yes, I did. I always mention the weather because I love the weather. And so I hope that you're having a great end of your week. We will see you on Sunday. It's Father's Day. We'll have a special little treat for all of the fathers there here this Sunday. So come on out and be a part of our church service this Sunday at 10:30. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.